Memorial Hospital. The Bilderbergs, as the demonstrating targeting of the Bilderberg Conference of International Leaders in Chantilly, Virginia, drew to a close on Sunday, dozens of protesters gathered around one man, hoping for a picture or an autograph. That man has become a hero of those protesters. His name is Alex Jones, and we've got him next on Coast to Coast AM. And welcome back to Coast. I'm George Noory. Alex Jones, of course, you know him, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. I went to the Drudge Report website today, and there was Alex on the front there, all over the place. Alex, you become a folk hero down there at the Bilderberg Conference.
Well, George, thank you for, trying to give me some credit. And I don't like to come on air and give other people credit for no reason, but it's certainly due. It's a big deal to expose Bilderberg, and I want to break down why here just briefly and then give you all the incredible intel we got from inside.
Okay, great.
And outside. This is earth-shattering. But if there's a shadow group meeting since the 50s who brags they set up the European Union by stealth, and for 50-plus years, the European and U.S. media would not cover it, and when alternative media would cover it, we would be demonized and made fun of. Just 4 years ago, the New York Times came out and said that I was at the same Chantilly, Virginia, Marriott Hotel where Bilderberg has just met again.
Mm-hmm.
They were meeting there, and they said that I was imagining it all. That was their disdain and contempt for the American people. But because of you first on the radio with your 16-plus million listeners, I know it's more than that now, 7-8 years ago, first covering it, then Matt Drudge about 5-6 years ago, then the London Guardian 5 years ago, and now today, Washington Post, over 200 U.S. newspapers, hundreds of foreign papers, American Free Press going back decades. The point is the dam has broken, and because the dinosaur collaborator globalist media denied this existed, now they're completely discredited. This is a big deal. And thank you for helping bring down that electronic Berlin Wall, George.
Well, because it was you, Alex. I mean, you were the one who single-handedly risked your reputation and, quite frankly, your neck by pounding away at a story that a lot of people didn't believe. But I believed you, and that's the reason I did what I did. I mean, I'm not the hero. I'm not the guy who said, I'm going to take this chance. I believed in you. And you went out there and covered it. You're the one who got arrested. You're the one who got chased all over the place. Now what's happening, and I'm beginning to see this. I just came back from a conference in Santa Clara, California yesterday. Came back this morning. I was at the conference. Hundreds of people at a conspiracy conference, and they all love you. And, I mean, they were all talking about Bilderberg, the Illuminati, and what has been going on. And, I mean, you saw this a long time ago before anybody. So my first question to you as we get into what happened down there in Virginia, what did you see in order to take this chance and tell everybody that something else is going on?
Well, I was kind of a mainline libertarian 17 years ago when I first got on radio. And I didn't believe any of this. And my listeners educated me, just like your listeners educated you, George. And they said there's a place called Bohemian Grove, and they worship this big owl. And I'm like, that's crazy. And a British TV producer who went on to write the best-selling book, Men Who Stare at Goats, that turned into the big George Clooney movie, he said, no, it's real. I've got sources inside, but because of liability, I can't go in. And he said, I'll fly you out here. I know you've snuck on some military bases to cover things. I will fly you out there, because back then I had, not two pennies to rub together, even back in 2000. And he said, I'll pay you to come out here. And I said, okay, fly me and my girlfriend, now my wife, out there. I'll sneak in there. I don't believe there's a satanic ritual. I was that naive just 13 years ago. I went in on the day, snuck in, hid out, got past the Secret Service. There were all these old men worshiping a big owl, doing a mock human sacrifice, and taking it very seriously. And so, wow, the rabbit hole really opened up then. The wormhole opened up, and I started researching Bilderberg and what other researchers had put out, and I just got a bigger megaphone to put it out, and then I tried to cover it. Like you said, got arrested in Canada, got death threats over it, got video being followed, being pulled over, and the rest is history. And the fact that the New York Times, while reviewing a film that was in theaters 3.5 years ago, A New World Order, in fact, not my film, it was really a mainline film, they kind of went with the bent, like, is it real? And there I am at the Westfields Marriott with Secret Service driving by, pointing machine guns at us. I mean, I have footage of this in the Obama deception. Obama's meeting secretly. Hillary's there. It's all on tape. And the New York Times comes out and says, this film shows Jones's delusion in the woods, believing men are following him. I mean, it's just total disdain. And it's because they talk to the American people like they were idiots. Now, as all this comes out, they've got massive egg on their face.
And social networking is helping to show the world how wrong they are, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And again, we were at Westfields 4 years ago, and probably 500 people over the 4 days, because it starts on Thursday and runs through Sunday. Maybe 400, 500 people were there. This time, every day it was new people. I mean, there were over 600, 700 last night, about 500 today. Always a new crowd because people just come through for one day. Most of them are working, can't afford even hotels, sleep in their cars. And there was thousands and thousands of people over the days. It was incredible. And the Washington Post, finally, who have been attending, the only media to attend the first few decades because they're so wealthy, the family that owned it, attending since '54, never covering it. And journalists have talked to reporters there that were told they'd be fired decades ago if they covered it. I mean, imagine 130 world leaders, royalty, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, they're all meeting, and the media is not supposed to cover it. The word is you get fired if you cover it, or you get blacklisted, you get passed over for promotion. Finally, the Washington Post had a report on it 2 days ago, and they said 24 reporters were there on Thursday. George, I was there. It's a huge piece of property with land all around it. It's why they picked it. They put big fences up around it. There's 3 entrances. There were 300 people at one, couple hundred at another, 200 at another. There were like 600, 700, 800 people there. They said 24. So they've gone from saying, I'm a schizophrenic running around the Westfields Marriott, imagining men talking into their sleeves that I have video of and being followed and all the rest of it. It's all on tape, and pulling fire alarms on us while I'm on your show and telling me, better not try to steal vases or pull fire alarms. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Security said the day before they closed it. I go on Coast to Coast AM. They pull the fire alarm as I go on air, come throw us out of the hotel, and then have the New York Times say I imagined it all. Well, am I imagining the London Guardian, the Washington Post, hundreds of other newspapers, the Washington Times, the Drudge Report? Am I imagining that now? How stupid do they look? It's this Jedi or Dark Sith trick to say these aren't the droids you're looking for. This isn't the global Illuminati meeting you're looking for. I mean, this is a big deal because the myth is crashing down.
Well, and they better change their tune because young Americans, middle-aged, older folks, all of them are turning and coming around to understanding now what is beginning to happen. What groups like the Bilderbergs, the Illuminati, and all these other people, what they're up to. And it's not a secret anymore.
Exactly. Bilderberg is only one tip of an iceberg. It's a high-level apex, a pyramid top, a pyramid capstone, but it's only one larger system. It's one area. Once you pull back the curtain there and people know, oh, there is a curtain, now humanity wants it pulled back more, and that's an irresistible force. The problem is, George, I've got the data intel on their plans. It is nothing less than World War III, world government, total police state, nightmare system that they are planning, because we went in there days before. They threw me out on live video days before it even started. We do these live cell phone videos now so we can document everything. But my crew wasn't as well known. Well, Aaron Dykes and Rob Jacobson. Mm-hmm. But my other crew got in. We handed out business cards. We ended up meeting with maids and other workers who at first said, I'll never talk to you. But after they were treated like garbage and saw the evil and were told, don't look in the eyes of the globalist, we went and had dinner with them at 2 a.m. We got the data.
And they trusted you.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I even knew the name of the Palm Tree Conference, their code name a month before. I mean, they were hopping mad, George. We've got direct dirt on everything they did.
Let's talk a little bit, Alex. We're going to take this break. We're going to come right back. I want you to tell us some of the things that you believe that they are planning to do, and we'll also take your phone calls. Alex Jones with us. Bilderberg's, he found out where they were, and he went out there. It was in Virginia this year. We'll be back in a moment with Alex Jones. Your calls on Coast to Coast AM. And welcome back to Coast. I'm George Norrie with Alex Jones this hour. His websites, of course, linked up at coasttocoastam.com, Infowars.com, prisonplanet.com. We'll take your calls in a moment. Alex, what did you uncover in Virginia? What do they have in store for us?
Well, I have 4 pages of quick notes here, and I was looking at them during the break in the news. I couldn't decide what to cover first, but here's the deal. As you've covered, actually for 9 years since I've been on the show, but before that, I said I've been on your show for 8 years. It's actually been 9. Time flies.
It does too fast.
This is a designed global implosion, which the big mega banks, who aren't free market, they're monopoly men, pose as the saviors in. So we see the Japanese markets plunging right now in their daytime trading. Tokyo stocks at 28-year low amid global rout. Futures, Eurozone nears moment of truth. It is happening all right now. This is by design. You've covered it ad nauseum with all your experts and yourself. It's happening. We were right. We wish we weren't, but it's by design. And again, the people running this are doing it on purpose. So they're discussing how to roll out carbon taxes, Bank of the World. We have sources within the group. I was even able to get the itinerary of an entire day of meetings delivered into my hands. This has not happened in a very long time. They are, let me read my notes here. My writing is so bad. They are also pushing the Syrian Interim Council. Again, I'm not saying Assad's a great guy. I'm not saying Gaddafi was a good guy, but they're putting, this is not the American government. This is the globalists. This is the foreign mega banks that are imploding Europe, imploding the U.S., imploding the whole world. They are publicly, this is even in the news, but the back of the paper, using al-Qaeda to take over Libya, and now in black al-Qaeda uniforms. This is even in the London Guardian. Black al-Qaeda uniforms, they are inserting them into Syria, blowing up police stations, staging fake massacres like babies out of incubators in Iraq to try to overthrow Syria. Fareed Zakaria, the Bilderberg minion, he goes to Bilderberg. He's on CNN saying, shut off their food and medicine, starve them. That's a quote on CNN today. Just absolutely insane. So they have the Syrian Interim Council head there today. They had Garry Kasparov, the big chess champion.
Oh, sure. The Russian, yeah.
Absolutely. And again, I'm not a fan of Putin or any of that, but I'm conquered by foreign bankers, not by Putin. They're trying to overthrow Russia with color revolutions headed up by Garry Kasparov. And that's why Medvedev, the prime minister, has said we're preparing for nuclear war. The Chinese, who own the majority of our debt, who, by the way, high-level government officials, we got photos. We know they're high-level. We're not sure yet. We're trying to double-check them right now. We've got photos of Henry Kissinger at Infowars.com that Rob Jacobson, my camera guy, took just a few hours ago before we left Chantilly. I'm still in Virginia. So it's a whole World War III concoction where they want to go into Syria, which is the gateway to Iran, which Russia says they're going to respond. And again, the banksters have got their bunkers. They're engaged in a political banking implosion. They want a war because they know during a war we'll politically get in line. In the final equation, I don't like Iran. I don't like their leadership. I like their people, good people. I don't like what Assad. But, I mean, come on. Assad is a stabilizing force, kind of like Mubarak, the old CIA dictator. Now they've put al-Qaeda Light, the Muslim Brotherhood, in there. 61% of the women in colleges in Egypt, 61% of those in college were women. Now they're putting burqas on their heads. I mean, this is crazy. I'm supposed to give my rights up because al-Qaeda is hiding under the table, and I've got to have my family groped if I go to the airport because of al-Qaeda, but then al-Qaeda publicly works for NATO and the globalists. This is unbelievable in our face. A lot of Chinese coming out, carload after carload. It looks like that they may have had the U.S. Ambassador from China, China's ambassador, but we're trying to confirm that it was blurred through the windshield. Just amazing because, remember, China strategically by the globalists, because they're a communist state, not the Chinese people, great people, but the communist leadership that feeds on them, they a year and a half ago, Red Dawn. In fact, I knew this before it was even in the news because I'm friends with Charlie Sheen. He was in the original. The new Red Dawn was going to already have come out, but China put so much pressure on the U.S. government and the media in Hollywood, they stopped its release and said you've got to reshoot it with somebody else invading America, not China. They decided on North Korea. Then the Chinese government got mad at that. Who knows if it's even coming out last time I checked.
Wow.
Now you heard last week or 2 weeks ago, China bought the biggest U.S. theater chain. They're buying up TV. They're buying controlling stocks.
Well, they're buying up everything. Everything.
Broadcast, exactly, manufacturing, everything. And China, the Chinese communist murdering government, said in the Washington Post, in a press release, it was quoted there, people can look it up, they said, we want to take over the U.S. media to influence the people. I mean, this is a foreign communist government saying they want to influence us. Here they are at Bilderberg, where Kissinger and David Rockefeller and all these people have put tax incentives in to force companies to move. And they paid $22 billion to move Cadillac, folks, look this up, and Volt manufacturing of GM 3 years ago. Now it's happened. Look it up. The new Cadillac and Volt factories have opened. You didn't just have your job shipped. You paid tax money to ship it.
To get it
this
done.
This is the Bilderberg treason. I know I'm ranting, George.
That's okay. Let's take a few calls. We'll talk more, too. Let's go to Johnny in St. Louis. Welcome to the program, Johnny. You're on the air with Alex Jones. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, George.
Sure.
Thank you, Alex. I was with you all weekend on the InfoWars newsfeed, live feed. Thank you so much. You're one of the greatest Americans that ever lived. Probably more courage than 99.9% of us. I wanted to ask you, sir, if you have heard anything about the Nassar Law, which is on a video called Changes on the Horizon by James Rink. It's going around the Internet right now, about 400,000 views.
There is an emergency reorganization, but that's the globalist bankrupting America. There are good people in the military and the U.S. government fighting this, but I've never seen NESARA materialize.
By the way, Alex, I received an email tonight. You might have heard about this. I'm not sure. That Bob Chapman, economist, is deathly ill. Did you hear that?
Yes. I knew that he had pancreatic cancer 3 months ago, and people started complaining. They're like, why isn't he on your show every Friday? How dare you? And I wasn't at liberty to say he's got pancreatic cancer, so I just had to sit there and be called a traitor. But then I was given liberty 3 weeks ago to say that he is too ill to ever come back on.
Yeah.
He's back in the U.S., and with his family reportedly preparing to die.
That's very sad. Let's go to Alpine.
It is very sad.
He's a great guy. Alpine, New Jersey. Victoria, it's your turn. Hi, Victoria.
Hi. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
Mr. Jones, I wanted to ask you a question regarding something that a friend of mine pointed out, and I'm kind of hoping you're not aware of this, but on your Internet show, on your microphone that you use, there's kind of that triangle contraption around it. Well, the outline of those triangles form a near-perfect upside-down pentagram star, which is
ma'am, I've
by
heard
the other guys.
Alex,
ma'am,
subliminal. What are you doing?
No, I've gotten hundreds of emails and dozens of calls and comments about that. Ma'am, if you go to a Guitar Center anywhere and you buy
they're all the same.
If you buy a Neumann, see, I should have an electro voice like George uses or other systems, but I don't. I'm doing TV too, so I don't want to have it in front of my face. So I bought a Neumann microphone. That's the shock mount that comes with it. All it is rubber bands that hold it up. Judge a tree by its fruits. I'm fighting the New World Order. People slow down video of my hands, George. I have my two middle fingers have been broken quite a few times in old street fights growing up in Dallas. And if I ever do a halfway Diablo, it's proof I'm the devil. Folks, I love life. I hate the devil. Okay? I love light, just like the guy that brings light, Mr. Nori. I am not for Diablo.
Let's go to Terry in Pahrump, Nevada. Terry, take it away.
George and Alex, it was a pleasure to speak with you.
Good to have you with us, Terry.
Alex, I watched the coverage this weekend. You were amazing. God bless you for standing up. Out here in Pahrump, we are all Ron Paul. We are all Liberty. We are all info warriors. Heck, we meet every Wednesday. Alex, I wanted to ask you, if Ron Paul does not get the nomination or the delegates, where do we go? Do we go behind Gary Johnson?
I got to tell you, I am drafting Ron Paul for a third-party candidacy. Even if he doesn't have a chance to win, he'll inject real issues. That's more my Bilderberg news. They're looking at Rand Paul to be the VP, about that secret meeting last week with Romney. I know that they've talked about it. I've talked to Rand on the air about it, and he said it would be an honor. I know Rand's a great guy, but he'll be compromised just politically by doing that. But it doesn't matter. The Bilderberg group wants Mitch Daniels, the Indiana governor, who was the former head of Eli Lilly.
And he was there, wasn't he?
Yes, he was there.
Yeah.
They're trying to draft him right now. So just like Rick Perry, who said for years, "I'll never run for president. How dare you?" It's this reluctant thing, like you do with women. Oh, baby, I don't want to go out with you, even though you got the hots for her. So Mitch Daniels, that's my next sheet here. Mitch Daniels is who the Bilderberg group wants. Now, Romney likes Rand Paul. I don't think Romney himself is a bad guy, but the interests that are involved are very, very corrupt, and they don't want Rand Paul. In fact, that's the big news. People say, when I brought this out, they're like, Bilderberg Group wants Ron Paul dead? Well, when they're getting bullhorn driving into Infowars.com, and I even saw some coast-to-coast ham signs out there, by the way, and Ron Paul and Alex Jones signs, they get mad when they're being bullhorn driving through, and they get out and curse Ron Paul, and they said, we want Ron Paul and his supporters on an airplane blown up over the Atlantic, and we'll blame it on Muslim extremists. That came from Jim Tucker. I talked to my sources, and they said, we didn't hear that. But, yeah, when they come in, they're mad, and they're cursing Ron Paul. That is big news and big information, and they're all violating federal law for foreign officials and foreign corporations meeting secretly with U.S. government officials, developing policy that violates one of the oldest U.S. laws from 1797, the Logan Act. And finally, that's in a whole bunch of papers. Hillary got fined $300,000+ back in 1994 at a Bilderberg Group meeting where it leaked out, where she was discussing with insurance companies socializing health care.
Wow. Is it true that most U.S. presidents have attended prior Bilderberg meetings?
Yes. And
before they become president.
Sorry, George?
Before they become president.
Yes. Bill Clinton 2 years before, countless others, George W. Bush, his dad, the list goes on, and all the major British prime ministers, the heads of the EU. I mean, this is as high as it gets. You've got royalty. Did you see the Financial Times of London? Because I usually listen to your show because I'm up late, but I've been out of town, so I haven't the last week. I mean, I listen religiously, at least the first hour of the news. Did you see the Financial Times of London, George, where they said Rothschilds and Rockefellers merged?
Merging together, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable things are happening because they're getting ready for their total absolute.
Well, because they know this is going to be tough for them. What was easy 10 years ago is not anymore, Alex. There's too much information out there anymore. I bet of these pros. I'm looking at a picture. There's a story in The Guardian about you and how everybody was just, cheering for you and stuff at the Bilderberg. I'm looking at a picture of what could be hundreds of protesters there. They said a half a dozen. No, there are hundreds just in this one photograph. People are aware of what's happening, and their plan has been screwed up.
Well, that's not just optimistic thinking, and I know you've analyzed it. I mean, my point is we're not just being cheerleaders here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the fight. Doesn't mean we're winning. We're in the fight. And as the sleeping giant that is free humanity, not just America, wakes up, we get more and more in the fight. You're absolutely right, George. Everywhere. I talk to media people who were scared before. Now that you and others and Drudge have gone out with this information, now it makes it safer for them. We're the vanguard hitting the barbed wire of the shock troops. And it's so exciting. Listen, I don't have words to describe the police. We were there 4 years ago, and the SWAT team was out there, and they came over and they said, we were ordered to be here, but we listened to your show. We know what's going on, and we understand there's criminals inside, but just understand we've got to follow orders, so please be careful. And I had some of the Marines that were there as undercover duty come over and tell me the same thing. Some of the others were under globalist control and were obnoxious. But by the end of it, we had police raising their hands. We'd say, "Who supports the Constitution?" And the head guys were raising their hands and saying, "I don't care if I get fired." This was like Chelsea.
That's emotional. That's emotional.
Oh, it was so
gosh.
powerful. This was so powerful, George. This was so powerful. What we witnessed. Again, it's words. It's like the Depeche Mode song that, words only break the silence like violence. I mean, you had to be there to experience it.
See, I think
no amount.
In the long run, we're going to win. You know that, and I know that. What concerns me is that they're capable of doing anything to attempt to win. And that could make it tough.
That's it. False flags, funding Al-Qaeda, any of it, it's all wide open. And again, like I said, we're not even winning. We're at least waking up, and we're now in the fight, and that's the beginning of the larger win. But you're absolutely right. But everybody I talked to out there, and I would talk to police officers, and I said, it's on the news. The UN says they now run, the military and Congress is involved. That's a violation of this article and that article of the Constitution, because I had the Constitution out. And the police officers began to cry. Oh my God! I've got this all in high def. I was shooting low def, video with cell phones just to get it out. We've got it all on high def, George. It was so incredible, and that right there lets me know we're going to win because those cops love their family. That's why we're going to defeat this, George.
Stay strong, Alex. Stay strong.
The only way we're going to defeat this New World Order is by facing this threat head on, and I'm telling you, the military's waking up, the police are waking up. We could still save the republic, and America can become the light of the world again, and we can reverse this. America doesn't have to be the light of evil. We don't have to be there pushing the New World Order's agenda as their power slave, carrying out all their evil, and then it's all done in our name. It's incredible. So I just salute everybody that was there and everybody like yourself 9 years ago, George, covering this when nobody else would, and Matt Drudge and the Washington Times, they helped break it, WorldNet Daily, they helped break it, and now it's all over mainstream newspapers. Even newspapers owned by globalists are reporting it because they have to.
Are you starting to get calls from mainstream now saying, look, we want to put you on, we want to interview you about the Bilderberg? Is that starting to happen?
Oh, the office is called. There's no exaggeration, thousands of calls. I can't even deal with it, George. But that isn't what matters. What matters is humanity is awakening.
Yes, that's the important thing. Let's take one or two more calls, and then that's it. We'll go to San Jose, California, west of the Rockies. Jacob, go ahead.
Yes, George and Alex, Daniel Ellsberg allegedly was one of the co-founders with Henry Kissinger of the Bilderberg Group. Does Daniel Ellsberg still visit the Bilderberg Group meetings? And is it true that Israel actually resold those Iron Dome 69 Patriot missiles to China for a few dollars, maybe like about several $billion profit?
I haven't heard about that. What about Ellsberg? I would not think he would be part of that.
Yeah, Ellsberg came along in the 60s in Vietnam, a Rand Corporation guy.
I don't think he
was founded by Prince Bernhard, who was a Nazi
a long time ago.
1954. I mean, I just searched it while you're saying it. I don't see that. I don't know about missiles to China, but I know Israel and others, our own government, sells weapon systems to China that they then duplicate and clone. That's a very bad idea.
30 seconds, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Alex, I know you've been very busy. Get some rest. I'm not even going to tell anybody where you are for your own safety. And get back to Austin, okay?
God bless you, George. Thanks for helping blow Bilderberg wide open. God bless you.
All right, that's Alex Jones. Tough guy. Websites, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com.